Hey, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. So before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe. That'll be much appreciated. We got goals, and we're getting closer to the end of the year, so we're trying to get closer to those goals. Thank you so much. So before we get started, let me tell you about this anime. So this anime is like flipping a genre on its head, and I think it has a lot of good ideas. But I think when you try to tackle a genre that is so ingrained in our heads, you gotta really do something to really like knock it out of the park. And I don't know if this anime did it. Maybe I could be wrong. We're gonna talk about it.
一匹漏れたか。
しっかりしてよ。聞いてないよこんなの。
間抜けなやつね。
ねえ、これまずいんじゃない?
So boom, we're talking about Go Go Loser Ranger. This is written by Negi Haruba, and this is a superhero genre anime. And it's 12 episodes. It's short and sweet and to the point. It was enjoyable. Like, first things first, this was an enjoyable anime that gave us the perspective of the foot soldier. The soldiers that basically the Power Rangers usually beat up on, destroy, and do the cool poses on. And we got to witness the other side of getting your ass whipped week in, week out, you know. And our main character is Foot Soldier D, which makes it even more funny that the anime is ripping on this very known aspect to the Power Rangers and how they just keep beating up on these monotonous foot soldiers, and it's damn near like they're losers. I think there's very few moments where even the Power Rangers were like not beating their ass. Like, it's kind of confusing how many times that I started thinking throughout this entire anime, damn, they do kind of beat up on a lot of random people. Now, it's not always leading towards like the Power Rangers side. There was some animes and movies where I was just like, oh, we might lose. And there was, you know, it was kind of convincing, you know. But one thing this anime had going for it was it tapped into the nostalgia. It had a lot of jokes about the powers, the weapons that the Power Rangers would have, and the takes of their personalities. Like, every single Power Ranger pretty much had a flaw that was very noticeable, and turned on its head, it was actually genuinely hilarious. But this also approaches my problem with this anime.
用済みになったら切り捨てる。悪いな、怪人なもんで。
生意気。
The question that's very often asked through our main character, Foot Soldier D, is what is justice and who deserves to be able to get what they want within society? Because that's like the main question, because like Foot Soldier D does not want to be enslaved because the Power Rangers, spoiler alert, basically have enslaved all of the foot soldiers because they beat all the boss monsters, supposedly. And they are now week in, week out doing this acting show where they basically have to get beat up. They have to do the flavor of the week, villain of the week. And, you know, it kind of gets monotonous, and Foot Soldier D has to try and make a way to kind of like murder these Power Rangers or Dragon Keepers. I'm just going to say Power Rangers because, like, obviously that's what we're talking about here. And the show ensues with Foot Soldier D getting help sometimes, trying to figure out what he can do. He is basically immortal until, like, the Dragon Keepers, like, use their, like, divine weapons. And he has various run-ins with a lot of the different Rangers, and the subtle run-ins are hilarious because like he can go in disguise, that he can do all sorts of different things that helps him alleviate the pressure of basically being even weaker than humans, which is kind of funny to think about. Like, the foot soldiers are essentially weaker than humans, just to be honest with you. Like, their immortality and the ability to make their hand into a knife probably can't beat like most like people. Like, just at least not in my mind, because like you punch them and they pretty much disappear. There's no, like, let's just say, resilience to them other than they just come back. And so there is ways to beat it, and you see that throughout the anime, which is cleverly showcased episode to episode how you can beat their just supposed immortality even if you don't have like a divine artifact or stuff like that. The anime just got confusing in execution because there's a choice made where we are somewhat siding with a group of people that Foot Soldier D has spent some time with, and we end up eventually killing a Dragon Keeper. Spoiler, sorry. But it feels weird because like it doesn't necessarily I wish it was more. I think one of the things I would have appreciated from this anime was a little bit more thought process into our main characters trying to figure out what side of the coin he's going to be on and where his desires lie for the possible future. And he does say it often, he's like world domination, but it's like, yeah, but what does that really mean, and how is he going to be able to accomplish these goals? And there's various missing parts to it. I can't say I was initially super interested in this because I wasn't satisfied with what was happening, some of the powers, the lack of introduction from different rangers. It felt as though Red was like super active like all the time, and it's so funny that they made him like, I don't know, he's like a psycho. Like Jesus, like that guy has issues. Like even when one of his like people died, his comment was like, wow, that's really gonna throw off our posing. Like that's insane. Which was funny to say the least. And his run-ins and the way he would try to orchestrate things the way he wanted it to be was actually enjoyable. Like, Red Keeper is actually one of the best of this anime.
おい、お疲れさん。あまりはしゃぐんじゃないぞ。ここはお前たちの舞台じゃないんだ。黙ってやられていればいい。空気を読め。
Now, I have to admit to you, I do hate any main characters that's pretty weak. But the saving grace of this is Fighter D is not scared to put himself in harm's way, and he somehow miraculously figures something out. Like, I couldn't tell you how many times he just fakes people out with his ability to regenerate and make things basically appear to be something that they aren't. Like, I love that, how many times he just fooled other people and showcased that his actual wit can be effective on the battlefield instead of like some of the other more ways they used to do it in all these other animes that I've watched. Like, it actually feels like Fighter D actually has an intelligence that actually matters, and he's playing the lines. He's trying to figure out how to balance different alliances, allegiances, and he's trying to get the best outcome from his own desire. And I love that towards the end of the anime, we understand that he is going for himself and himself alone, and he does not want to serve under anybody. And I do enjoy that saving grace, and it may carry me to the possibility of watching the second season. I just wasn't married to this anime. I think the execution could have been so much better, and I think the tone sometimes was so overly jokey that it confused me on the serious nature of like the servitude and some of the other things. Like, it was trying to be a parody of this, but then be very serious, and sometimes it just didn't work for me. But I did very much so enjoy the anime. I did have a good time watching, a very quick and easy ride. And I love some of the tropes that they flipped on their head. And I just enjoyed an anime that tried something new, and I gotta give it to it. Like, end of the day, this is something they tried to be new, and I think they executed it pretty decently. But anyway, that's all I got to say. I'm gonna give this like a 3 out of 5. I appreciate you for making it to the end of the video. I hope you're doing well. It officially just snowed where I'm at, and let me just tell you, I'm not feeling it. But regardless of all that, I appreciate you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope you're doing well. I hope these winter blues are not getting to use, or you're enjoying it. Who knows? Anyway, take care and be well.